So, Return to Oz was the 1985 sequel to The Wizard of Oz, starring Fraser Bulk as Dorothy Gale, who you will probably recognise as Nancy Downs from The Craft. That genuinely blew my mind, to be honest. Return to Oz has been described by many as a fever dream, and if you've watched it, you'll know why. Watching it as a kid, I didn't really understand why they cast someone younger than Judy Garland to play Dorothy, and I definitely didn't know what was going on with Oz. But as an adult, I understand that so Judy Garland was meant to be playing an 11-year-old, and you can also see like the decline of Oz as the decline of Dorothy's psyche. So there's a spoiler alert's going ahead. If you've not seen the movie, you should see the movie. But there's a scene in the movie where she almost gets electric shock therapy, because of course there's electric shock therapy in this movie. So you can see that the Oz dying is basically Dorothy's mind decaying. So this also technically confirms that Oz is a dream. I mean, technically. There is a scene at the end of the movie where Dorothy sees Ozma in a mirror with her chicken. So I think it's up for interpretation. When I first watched this movie, I hated the style of the movie, but as I get older, I tend to like it more and more. So I love the Emerald Disney logo in front of the starry night sky. It was genuinely beautiful. So it's been 6 months since we've seen Dorothy last, since she went to Oz. Through the whole of the beginning of the movie, I was wondering why they hadn't sent Dorothy to an asylum sooner, because she just keeps talking about Oz as if it's real. Obviously it's real to her. Obviously Oz it's probably real, but I would have definitely had her locked up sooner. I do like how we get to see the aftermath of the tornado. We see them rebuilding a new farmhouse, because obviously the last one was destroyed so much by the tornado. I never originally picked up on this, but the movie is set in 1899, so in 14 years World War I starts. So like I said before, so Dorothy doesn't actually she doesn't actually get shock therapy. The electric cuts out just before it happens, but you can technically see this part. So if you believe that Dorothy actually did get the shock therapy, from this point on, she's dreaming, which explains a lot, not gonna lie. I like that this movie shows us other things in Oz from that we didn't get to see in the first movie, like the lunch pail tree and the deadly desert. I genuinely love that the Gnome King is scared of chickens. So when Dorothy comes across the Munchkin town, the Munchkin city, it's all been taken back by nature, and this is my favourite thing to see. I love pictures of nature taking back supermarkets and stuff. It's so beautiful. I absolutely despise the Wheelers. Generally as a kid they gave me nightmares. Never understood where they came from. I know obviously it probably explains it in the books and it just doesn't in the movies, but where did they come from? It doesn't even explain it in the movies. They're just one day the Wheelers pop up. So I recognise the chicken's voice from somewhere. I think it was the Labyrinth, but we'll see. I love how clunky TikTok is. So watching this, while I was watching this for the review, I discovered that I have a thing for the head wheeler. This was news to me. So the chicken is actually voiced by the trash lady from the Labyrinth, and I knew I recognised her voice from somewhere. Mombi's palace is actually so beautiful, and I absolutely love her dress with all the spiky stuff on it. It's beautiful. I love how sassy Dorothy has become in this movie. Jack is my favourite character in this movie, and he's so sweet. I swear movies made in the 80s aren't actually made for kids. Like, they are traumatic. Like, the scene where Mombi chases Dorothy without a head is like, when I first watched this movie, there's a scene where you see like a reflection in the mirror of Ozma, but I actually thought it was Glinda. It doesn't explain in this movie where Glinda is. We just assume that she's been turned to stone as well. She's been trapped somewhere or something. It's never explained. So I had a thought, if TikTok is the army of Oz, then why wasn't he used to combat the witch in the first movie? Like, if they had an army, why didn't they use him to fight the Wicked Witch? I genuinely couldn't find a reason. I do love the puns in this movie, they are great. I love that with every like flash, the Gnome King becomes more and more human. It's genuinely funny that to see the Gnome King wearing the ruby slippers. It's like, it was probably like the first instance of drag I was ever exposed to. When I first watched this movie, I hated the way the Scarecrow looked, but watching it back more and more, I actually prefer the way the Scarecrow looks in this movie, because he actually looks more like a scarecrow. I don't understand why eggs poison the Gnome King and his like servants, or like his people, but if someone has a reason, please explain it to me. I do like that Ozma gave Dorothy a way to come back to Oz. It is really nice. I think she kind of felt trapped after the first movie. And almost overnight, Uncle Henry's leg seems to have miraculously fixed itself. He's up in that house fixing it. So, the Return to Oz, compared to The Wizard of Oz, it's a very dramatic change. The character designs are really different, and the overall tone of the movie is different. I genuinely think it works for this movie. I am gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Because I was really trying to put my like nostalgia aside to rate this movie. I'm definitely gonna have to read the books sometime in the future. I might do a review on them to see if they're like actually as dark as this movie. So I hope you liked that video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you did, and share it with your friends. Bye.